Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. How's everybody doing today? I think it's time to get on the vibes with the charts. What are the charts saying? How's everybody doing? How you feeling? It's Sunday afternoon. We're going to be getting going here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and get those vibes up. I want to see some emojis in the chat. I want to see some positivity. I want to see, what are you thankful for today? Are you making any trades? Are you just investing in your education? Happy you're all here. I love you all. Big love to each and every one of you. Let's get this going. I think we are one member away from adding a new emoji. Let's see if anybody here that's not a member, join the membership here. We're doing private member streams for the members as well. I got some new content coming out as well that members will have first crack at. Big love to everybody here. I see all you green names, all those of you with the beakers next to your name. I see everybody that's in here. Big love to each and every one of you. We're going to break down these charts, see what it's looking like going into this, I almost said holiday close. I was reading Crimson's girlfriend's message, but no, we got a weekly close coming up, and we're sitting in such a beautiful area. Are you ready? How many of you are doing Sunday stream hopping like Crimson's girlfriend here just said? She said, woohoo, dang, that's Sunday stream hopping. So how many of you guys have been hopping between different streams? Or is this the first stream today? Let me know in the chat right now. How you doing, Alexandra G? How you doing, Tiggle Bitties? How you doing, Red Elephant? How you doing, Jojo Gunn, Crimson's girlfriend, Crimson's Crimson Caravan Company? How you doing, my friend? Cade Pulliam, PHX. Still, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be Phoenix or just PHX, but we'll do both. Who else we got in here? Juicy Does Crypto, what's up? Let's go, everybody. Shout out to the Mafia crew. How many of you are part of the Candle Mafia? I love that entire crew. Such a good vibe. Frankie's such a wonderful guy. So is Tony D and everybody that's over there on a regular basis. Big love to that entire community. We got some great charts we're going to be going through today. We're going to do probably about 30, 40 minutes, breaking down some things, breaking down some thoughts, breaking down what's going on in these charts, getting another look at what the hell is going on here. Let's get it. I've got the red zone on my phone. I'm watching at the same time. And welcome to the stream, Mr. Market. Happy to have you here. Let's see those lab coats. Let's see those candles. Let's see those BitLab beakers. Let's see your favorite emoji in here. We're going to be adding one today. I'm sure we'll get at least one member. So big love to everybody here. We're about to get this going. So I want to do roll call right now. Everybody's showing up on a Sunday. What I love about this, each one of you, you're the type of people that was just like me years ago when I was trying to do everything I could to know everything I could about this market, get different perspectives, different charts, different tools, different strategies. And I did it every hour of the day, all the time. Anytime I had a screen with me, I had some sort of crypto stream up, or I was reading and going through the different education platforms and learning everything about stocks, and leaning into a lot of my education when I went to Columbia University, leaning into some of that stuff there and tying in old world and new world, figuring out how we could do this together. So shout out to everybody. Let's get that roll call going. Let's see everybody. I want to see this chat flowing, and we are going here in a second. What's up, River? How you doing? And everybody, where are you at today? Are you at your house? You at a friend's house? You at work? What city? What state? What location in your environment? What are you doing? Let's get this going. And have you hit that like button yet? Let's hit that like button. Let's get it going. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Sunday afternoon. I got football up on my phone, but you know what? I had to set it down for a little bit. We had to dive in here together, talk a little bit about BitLab Academy, talk a little bit, as a community, talk a little bit about the charts, talk a little bit about the tools, the resources, what's going on in the charts today. I'm sitting here in my pajamas. I got no pants on. Shout out, throw a one in chat if you're pantsless too on this Sunday, tuned in from your phone or your computer. Big love to each and every one of you. But I want to talk to you about something a little bit before we hop into these charts. First things first, if this is your first time, I can guarantee it's not going to be your last time. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Big love to you. Thank you for being here. And I hope we can see you on a regular basis. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell. The question I have for you, it's a Sunday. Sundays are meant for days of reflection, days of rest. And this isn't work to me. I'm coming here with you. I'm on stream talking to you about stuff that I love, stuff that I've built years of experience in, all the way since even before I was in crypto, I was trading. But you got to ask yourself, in everything that you're doing, whether it's investing, whether it's a hobby, whether it's work, what do you do? What is your why? What is impacting what you're doing? How is it impacting your why? How is it impacting positively the people around you? Now, you're not always going to find every single thing that you do be completely in line with, oh, I love this. This is so exciting. Oh, I want to do this all the time. That's why they call work, not fun. However, you can lean in to tricking yourself, tricking your body, tricking your mind to do whatever you're doing better, even if it's something you don't like. And that's where you're at right now. It's okay. If your why is, I'm doing this to get to the next level. Well, in order to get to the next level, you have to do whatever it is you're doing right now well, so you can get to the next level. So even if you hate what it is you're doing, do it excellently. Even if you hate technical analysis, do it excellently. Even if you hate education, do it excellently. And that will be a sign to everybody around you that what you do well, and you will have so many more opportunities, and you will be able to leapfrog other people because you show gusto, you show passion, and you show that you're able to take on the challenges and the tasks as they present themselves to you. So remember that. What is your why? How can I get to the next stage? First step with that is do whatever I'm doing right now excellently. So I just wanted to share that with all of you before we dive into the charts, because we have to ask ourselves, even when we're looking at charts, all of us, throw one in chat if you've ever lost money in crypto. I better see how many people do we have on the stream right now. We have 41 people on the stream right now. Okay. First off, we got 18 likes. Every one of you needs to hit that like button. But I want to see ones in chat for anybody that's ever lost money in crypto. If you've ever lost a trade, if you've ever been stopped out, if you've ever been liquidated, it doesn't matter what it is. If you've lost money, it doesn't mean you've gained since then, but at some point, have you ever lost money? Every single one of us. So if you've ever lost money in crypto, and that's every single person that's ever going to enter the market, because you cannot, nobody will ever be a 100% trader. If they say that they are, they're freaking lying to you. Run the other way. We have to own our losses and let our losses be our lessons. If our losses only fulfill this need for us to feel like a victim, screw that. That's not what we do. We are not victims. We take our losses and we transition those losses into lessons so that we can be better. Now, have you ever won? Have you ever won $1? Have you won a trade worth $1 or more? Ask yourself that. Throw a 2 in chat if you've ever won a trade or held something and it's gone up in value. I hope I see the same number of 2s here in chat right now. It is important to realize everybody's going to win and everybody's going to lose. And depending on what part of the market cycle you come in, a lot of people will enter when we get this hype cycle, when the market starts going up like this, and they think they're a great trader because they bought something and it went up. That's not trading. That doesn't make you great. If you're able to take profit on those assets as they're going up before it drops below the entry level, then you're already on the right track. The key is to narrow that period down, narrow that region of time down, narrow that price gap down from what am I doing? How can I enter trades? How can I identify trades to enter? How do I have the resolve and the discipline to take profits so it's not just profits on paper? The hell are we in this for if we're not rotating any capital into our real world life? Of course, we want to hold the majority of the profits that we have, and we want to really see that we can stack this into the future. Long-term holders. I'm diamond hands. Great. Nobody's really proud of being a diamond hand if they bought at 69 and it goes down to 15. In fact, they're really frustrated. So the goal is to figure out how we can organize our portfolios. And we talked about this in the BitLab member stream here on YouTube and on the BitLab Academy premium Discord. We talked about this, I think on Friday. We're talking about portfolio management and finding those gems, finding those degen plays. And how do you identify what they are and make sure that you're not just somebody says this coin can 100x, so you put your life savings in it. No, you're donating your money to the game. Do you want to donate your money to the game? No, I want to strategically place, let me say that again. You enter this market without a strategy. And even when you're in profit, if you don't have the discipline to take profits out and rotate that capital into other parts of your portfolio, other parts of the real world life, what the hell are you in this game for? Because if you're doing it just to take screenshots when your portfolio is up, only to see it drop to zero or drop to near zero or drop 80%, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're discouraging yourself. You're discouraging your friends and family around you because they see the hardship in your face when you're struggling, that you're so upset that you're up to $600,000 and then it drops down to $450. Take profits along the way, strategically reallocate your capital, move 30% into your long-term holder portfolio, put 30%, keep it in your trading portfolio, and take 30% out into your real world life so you can take care of your friends, family, and life's necessities. Let's make this market work for us. I do not want to be in this market to donate my money to the game. Do you? That's the question we have to ask. So I got one screen here. I don't have multiple screens like I normally do. How many people we got in the room right now? We got 63 people in the room. It's time to look at some charts. For the members out there, all of you that have those green names, if you're not a member, the link is right down below. And I think Alexander G, if you would, you can share the link in the chat. Join, become a member. I think if we get one more person, we're going to get another emoji. You guys requested the green candles or up arrows, and I got a little bit of a combination of that's going to be the next emoji. But all you members out there, let me know what coins you want to see. I'm going to show you some charts right now that I've been looking at. Also, I'm going to stoke some of those hope flames right now. It's not hopium. This is a possibility of where things can go. And then we're going to do some TA, and then we're going to get back to the football game because it is Sunday. I wanted to drop in here with you all and share the love and share some of what's going on in the charts that I'm seeing and get here with you. So big love to each and every one of you. Now, can you see my charts? I think you can now. It's hard to tell with only one screen. All right, so this is what we're looking at. Look at where the price action is hesitating at. Price action is hesitating as it comes into this line. Arbitrary line. Kelly just draws lines on charts. Okay, maybe that's so. Let's see if this line is relevant whatsoever. Let's go out to the 3-day. Let's double click here on the right bar that brings you into auto. And look at this. Low, high, 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 high. High, low, see, support, rejection, rejection, rejection. And look at where we're coming into right now. We're coming right into this 39,880 sort of region. This is that region, this macro sort of parallel channel that we've been in, we're coming up to. Now, we've talked about this a lot. We talked about this last week throughout the week. We talked about this, how we had this large bullish impulse up. And then the price action it got much slower here. We talked about why that was. If we look to the left on the chart, boom, this right here, if we mark this, if I just do option H, look at this, option H. Now let's kind of zoom out. Look at this. As soon as we hit this level, this line right here is where these previous lows were. Previous low, a little bit higher, right in here. And then all the way up in here, we have a lot of these candle bodies and these lows for which these areas actually, option H, we can see between this region, this is exactly where the price action started getting a little slowed down for the bulls. Does that mean the bulls were losing weakness or were losing strength? Not necessarily. Here it just shows that there was a lot of pent up energy at this level. Once we broke this level, which was also all of this here, we flushed out some over leveraged individuals. We got a short squeeze and it not only sent price up, but we can see right in this zone, as soon as we broke these levels, there was nothing there, just one candle. So it shows that there was no clear barriers to upward entry upward price action in the zone until we hit this threshold. This threshold, remember, is the lows of this previous range. So, and then we have all this work that we had to do when we got up in there. So if we delete this line, and talk about this parallel channel that we're in, and realize that this parallel channel is kind of coming in conjunction, boom, right here. Let's do this, option H. If you don't know where things are, you can just draw a horizontal line or a diagonal line. In this case, horizontal line is going to be working best, because now we can scroll out. We can look over to see where this is. Look, this was the area from which we finally broke down from. So we're not only knocking on the door of this arbitrary parallel channel Kelly drew. Well, okay, why did this price action come up into that area and stop? Well, we can see right here, this is that area from which we broke down from, which was also, look, support, we lost it, resistance. This was support here, rejection here. Seems like this is a pretty important level that we're contending with right now. So let's get back down. Let's look at the 6 hour and look at this. Look, we're holding on this level. We had a wick up to this line here. So if you draw the map on your chart, your charts will tell you where things are going and why. So let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. I want to come over here and look at this from Titan of Crypto. Extremely high volatility. We can see this oscillates from extreme highs to extreme lows. Now, where we had these dips before, look at this dip right here. This is prior to the FTX collapse right into this zone. Had this extremely low volatility. It kind of cooled off in here. And we got a little bit of a movement once this fell down, but we got this double dip, boom, boom, and then lift off. Boom, boom. This one had 3 and then lift off. But the point here is we came up into this 786. We came up here into the 786. We came up here into the 786. And what's interesting about this, I think Titan of Crypto, he must do this on either a linear chart instead of logarithmic or something, because this same rough area on my charts when I do it is the 618. And we've talked about this a lot on this channel, that major area. And I marked this out January of last year. That's right, January of last year. Let me just go ahead and I just want to make sure you guys can see everything as far. Okay, we got boom, 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 boom. Okay, I have to go between multiple screens in order to see stuff. So the golden pocket that 786 that he marked out, that golden pocket is essentially roughly just below the golden pocket for us. This golden pocket, the 786 here is the 56,000. The golden pocket's down here, basically 48,000. Okay. But this region is going to be a highly contested region. Everybody's split decision on whether or not when price action comes up into this 48 level, which is right here, and the 56 level right here. Everybody's wondering, are we going to have a run like we saw in 2018 into 2019, where we had this pre-halving pump, large sell-off, and then black swan? Or are we going to have something, and I talk about this a lot, where we had this consolidation, and we did have a rise and then a consolidation, then we have a rise, then we had a consolidation. These are two different landscapes for how price action could interact going into the halving. And everybody wants to know right now, because all of us, every single one of us wants to stack as much as we can into the halving. And part of that means we're putting our capital at risk. We're putting our assets at risk. So you have to ask yourself right now, is it worth just taking a trade if you don't have the strategy lined up, where the confluence and you're having, a signal, a support, and a trigger, basically having 3 or 4 different points of confluence and different types of data that you're looking at that suggest this is a trade to take? That's why it's so tight right now with what's going on with the price action. Even though we've had this explosion, everybody's wondering with these ETFs, is this too good to be true? Is this just going to run away? Are we just going to see something on this chart where this just continues going up? Or are we going to have this push up into the 48, 50, let's call it $50,000 mark, and then have a sell-off that could be as much as 30% or more and retest this level, which we have yet to do. Retesting, look at this, previous highs. This, in this case, this didn't really break out this high, so this retested previous lows. So this break up, are we going to go higher and then come back and test this, or are we never going to test this $31,000, $32,000 level again? Let me know in the comments right now what you think, which direction you think it's going to go on that. And shout out to all the members that are in the house right now. I think, it's going to be fairly soon that all you members are going to get your beaker is going to fill up a little bit when you hit that next monthly mark. It's going to be pretty cool. But shout out to everybody here. Now we got 25 likes. Everybody hit that like button. Coming live on a Sunday, So let's go ahead and turn back on. Let's look at some of the things we want to look at as well. So extremely low volatility here. And on this move to the upside, this would be akin to this right here or this right here. And of course, this is pre-halving. The halving was roughly right here. The halving here was roughly right here, I believe. So we had a double extremely low volatility dip pre-halving on both of these. And then we did come back into this. In this case, once we had the halving, we never got below this marker, but we did come down and reset. So we want to watch this metric on regardless of what happens now, whether we go up to 50, whether we go up to 70, whether we go up to 100. I don't think we're going up to 100 before the halving. We could though, with all these ETFs, if they do all get mass approved, but we want to watch if we feel like we miss things, allow the price action to do what it's going to do and show you what the narrative is, how strong the bulls are in control or not on whatever breakdown retrace that we have from here, because we do see this. I mean, all the way from back here, this low, look, push up. This was about 100 and something percent push up and about 40% drop and then consolidation. This is another 70 or 80% push up and then a 40 or 60% drop or something. So we do get these retraces. In this case, we went from a little over 3,000 up to 13,000, like 500 or 13,800 or something like that. And then the price came all the way back down into the 5,000s before liftoff. So don't feel like you're letting things run away right now. If you're sitting on the sidelines because you're being patient and you're waiting for your shot, then I would say make sure that you're understanding that it may not come, but if it does, you need to be prepared. If you're going to be prepared, that means you should already have some stop limit orders in the books at this $31,000 level, $32,000. And this is not financial advice. Just so you know, this is strategy advice. But we got a long way to go before we get up into these extremely high volatility zones, meaning there's a long way to run for the price once this starts really getting moving. Now, looking over here, I just want to point out, this feels like hopium, but this is what it has looked like in the past. 2017, large impulse sell-off, much larger impulse sell-off, reset, and push to the upside. This is roughly about where we could be. I don't think this is necessarily going to be absolutely the case. I think it's still likely that we are going to get some sort of drawdown reset to give another opportunity before we go. Especially, I don't know if you all watched the video from Joshua Jake. I think it was yesterday or the day before. He talks about the possibility of this buy the rumor, sell the news event with the ETF. We've seen it with every major development with the Coinbase IPO, with the backed launch of Bitcoin futures. We've seen it with a number of things. When everybody knows about it, people speculate into it, driving price up. And so what happens if the ETF gets delayed in January and gets pushed into March, when all the other ETFs are scheduled to have their sort of final deadline date? I mean, Josh made a great, excellent point with the DOJ actions brought against Binance. Seems like a pretty good opportunity, a pretty good excuse for them to say, hey, we need a little bit more time on that ARC, the 21 shares, I believe it was, the January 10th deadline on that, to just push that forward into March with all the other ones. And then we'll have to see again from there. But there's so much of it. The rubber band is so tight right now with everybody knowing about this, especially coming up on the halving, especially coming up on the world just falling apart economically with, yes, the stock market's going well, but we see on a debt-based understanding of the US, it doesn't matter what the economy's doing. We are far too in debt. There's going to be a cascading breakdown of something at some point, or a massive further devaluation from astronomical more printing. Either way, both of these are good cases for Bitcoin. Now, being a good case for Bitcoin doesn't mean Bitcoin only go up. It very well could mean that Bitcoin dips along with the market if we have some massive market dip from all this, collapse or something. But I do think that Bitcoin has positioned itself now in the awareness of the zeitgeist of smart money, big money, governments, the everyday person, retail, you and I. I do think, regardless of what happens with the economy and regardless of what happens with the monetary policy, clear failures from our governments, I do think that Bitcoin is positioned, as we've seen with the cascading bank failures back in March and Bitcoin just ripped higher. I do think that Bitcoin is going to perform well in the face of economic uncertainty. That does not mean, do not mishear this, that does not mean Bitcoin only will go up from that. I do think that Bitcoin will endure. And remember that Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. Fixed, not like any other asset we've ever had in history. And we have an exponential increasing of demand over time with Bitcoin. And we have a halving coming up again right now in April 2024. We have ETFs on the horizon, institutions preparing themselves to integrate Bitcoin into their treasuries and Web3 into their business models. It's a foregone conclusion that Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. The shape of it will change over time, yes. But getting exposure and being understanding, even if it's investment in your education in places like bitlabacademy.com to learn about this, to learn about blockchain and Bitcoin and crypto so that you can take advantage of the direction that the future is headed. Don't you want to be a part of a future that you have a part in shaping? Don't you want to be part of a future that you have a part in shaping? That's what Bitcoin, that's what crypto, that's what Web3 provides. So get involved. Make sure you check out bitlabacademy.com. Go through our courses if you have. We got free sections. We have very advanced trading sections. We have charting sections, on-chain data. We have it all there at bitlabacademy.com. So definitely check it out. Now, I want to jump back over here into these charts and say these charts are very exciting and they do feel like hopium. And in this case, I would say that this is a little bit of hopium because I do not yet think that maybe we're right here where we're going to have this explosion to the upside. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we still have a little bit of work to do here because all things are riding on the decisions of what the SEC is going to do with the ETFs and the potential delays. And we saw, the clear picture from the DOJ in the 14 different people that spoke, especially Janet Yellen talking about Binance, about them clearly coming after Bitcoin and not Bitcoin, coming after crypto exchanges and crypto companies if they don't follow the very clear rules and regulations. And everybody has told you that is involved in this space, there are no clear rules and regulations for this niche, for this asset class. That's right, I said it. There are no clear rules and regulations for the crypto ecosystem. They've knocked on the door of the SEC. They've sent them emails. They've called them and say, hey, what is the path? What is the format to go through and get these different things done? Bitcoin and crypto, one, are two separate things, okay? Crypto especially should not be held to the standard of a Howey test built in 1930s that was so broad that it doesn't even take into account the fact that computers exist. This is an entirely different ecosystem with entirely different needs and entirely different utilities. In fact, most of these crypto protocols likely have some security elements to them, but they also have commodity elements to them. And they also have digital security and independent. This is its own asset class. And the government needs to get off their ass and put people in charge of these different regulatory bodies, or at least have them consult with somebody that knows what's going on here and take the bank's foot off the throat of the regulators so that they can allow the US to step into the future with the rest of the world, not come clamoring up behind it in 10 years when we've missed the boat. If you agree with that, drop an emoji in the chat, drop a 1 in chat, drop something, but hit that like button. Let's get back over to the charts. I want to look right here. Are we back on the charts yet? It's so hard to do this with one screen. Okay, here we go. Now, I just wanted to shout out this as well. Dr. Jeff Ross, he is he's a hedge fund manager and he's a Bitcoiner and he's crypto, but he also right now is doing everything he can to stack as much capital as possible. He's also, I think he's a radiologist, if I'm not mistaken. He's also went back and started doing radiology again so he could stack as much money as possible and have as much liquid capital as possible to participate in the market. This is working hard. He's already got money. He could probably retire for the rest of his life, but he sees the opportunity in front of him and he's doing everything he can not to sit on his ass and just watch football all day on Sunday and then, go on a trip on Monday and then go to no, he is hustling every day. I see him doing podcasts, interviews, managing his fund, giving positive statements like this, and went back to work as being a doctor so he could take advantage of the best opportunity of our lives. Now, coming over here, also, I want to talk about altcoins a little bit. Altcoins, two very simple metric here, the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. That's what MACD stands for. But look at this. Not only did this break positive here, where we had the blue line cross over the signal line, the red line, and this has been angled up, but we've been below this zero line. The true exuberance in the market, everybody feels like we had an altcoin season. You've never been in crypto if you feel like that was an altcoin season. An altcoin season, you're going to start seeing multi-1,000% moves throughout the altcoin ecosystem, and some are going to move very quickly and come back down. This is why you need a strategy. Some are going to not move at all, like Cardano did last cycle, and everybody's like, oh, it's so dead, it's a stable coin. And then it exploded after everything else. Capital rotates through this industry. Capital rotates through these different assets. So pay attention to this, especially with the knowledge that we have the Bitcoin spot ETFs coming up very soon. And there will likely be a little bit, I won't call it a drought, but there will likely be a little bit of a focus of capital flowing into Bitcoin. And you're going to see that Bitcoin dominance likely shoot up quite dramatically. But then what happens is as it pushes up, people start rotating. One, you get a lot of free press in the media because Bitcoin's performing so well. And that brings the retail hype cycle buyers into the game. And they think Bitcoin's too expensive to buy because they don't understand you don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin. You can buy any fractional sort of amount. You can buy $5 worth of Bitcoin or $2 worth of Bitcoin if you want. But a lot of those people come in and they say, well, man, Bitcoin's at $58,000 when these retail hype cycle buyers start coming in. Say, man, Bitcoin's at that price, but X and Y coin or name a coin, is only 32 cents. I'm going to load up on that because they think if this coin goes to the value of Bitcoin, then I'm going to be rich. And they don't understand tokenomics, market caps, all these, but these are dynamics of the market. And if you are aware of it, you can tell people in your friends and family in your circle, but also you can use this strategy. You can use this knowledge to be aware that you can I don't want to say take advantage of, but you can ride the wave of the retail hype cycle buyers that are coming in that do buy these other altcoins and all these, really take advantage of big gains in the market. But remember, all this to be said, you've got to take profit along the way. If you're up on one of your altcoins 1,000%, you've taken zero profit, you are literally stealing from yourself. Because there's no telling what comment by Gary Gensler, what hack of a bridge, what, the crashes on these things happen, very quickly when they happen. And so you've got to bring exposure to different coins, bring exposure to different types of risk, but then try to rotate that into your longer term portfolio, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe a couple other top 5 or 10 alts. But remember, Luna was a top 10 coin as well, and it completely went to zero. So just be aware of all of these things. I'm just dropping some knowledge bombs on you guys today. Now, what are we looking at today? Let's go ahead and turn back on turn that on. We're going to look at this before we go. We're going to do some TA. This is quite difficult with only one monitor here going between the two different things. Let me just kind of go back over here. We got, I shovel snow and gamble on football on Sundays. All proceeds go to crypto. Shout out Crypto Crab, man. Everybody in the chat right now, have you done anything extra, worked an extra shift, taken on an extra job, stopped eating out once a week, stopped, having 5 days of Starbucks coffee, maybe you only have 4, maybe you cut it all out. What are you doing to give yourself, you already have capital. All of us have capital in our lives. We think we need to, shout out Alexander G gifted 1 membership. Oh, does this mean we get to add the emoji? Crimson's girlfriend got it right on. Shout out. Shout out, shout out. Let me go ahead, come over here. I'm gonna see if I can add that emoji for you guys. I think we just hit the threshold. Now it's gonna be like another 25 or 40 or something before we get the next one, but that's okay. We're doing this together, baby. Emoji, come down. Yes, add another emoji. Name of your green. Oh, it can only be one word. I'll just put green. That's what it's going to be called. Select image. Let me go ahead and add this for you guys real quick. Where is it? Marketing vids. BitLab Academy. Membership images. Here we go. What was it called? What was Oh, it's this one right here. There it is. Save and publish. All right, you got a new emoji. I want to see everybody that's a member in there drop that a new emoji. See if you can find it. I think it's better than it. The candle wasn't really showing up, so I did something that looked a little better and feels good. Algo. Jackson Crawford wants to see some Algo. All right, members. I think you guys dropped some coins in here. I don't know. Yeah, you see Ocean, AVAX, Algo. Boom. Alexander G got it. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do that TA real quick. Bitcoin, let's get down. Let's look at the weekly because we're coming up on a weekly close. Let's actually, let's go ahead. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to minimize all that and just look at the shape of things. Okay, we're coming up into this zone here. We got a lot of, a lot of chop throughout this region, but we are seeing, look, this expansion and then a little bit of loss in narrative and then expansion again. But the stochastics are getting relatively high like they were back over here. This saw a dip. Now this came up and we had a bit of bearish divergence here with this high and this high down here. I'm looking here on this high and this high are lower, the orange line, while at the same time this high and this high are much higher. So this is moving higher and the steam under it says you don't have the power to continue going up there. And we saw the price break down. So if we look at where we're at right now on the weekly, we have the volume is kind of been steady. We got an impulse here, but the volume's just been steady here. And we are seeing that the money flow did flip positive. That's why this is blue right here. And this is starting to arc over though. So I'm worried that we get up into this region. Maybe even have a move up here above 40, up into like 40, 41, and potentially trap and come back down. So I'm watching all the signals for that to play out or not. Now we do see on the 3-day, however, let's go ahead and delete or move some of these because they are in my mother way. Okay, there we go. We don't even need that. So this is, yeah, the 3-day came down and reset. Look at this. This price action coming across. Sometimes when price, let me say this again. Sometimes when price is not moving up like you want it to just go. But you can see like on this chart right here, price action pushed up and then kind of went sideways. But then as this was going sideways, we see the stochastics, this orange line on the BitLab Trim Fuel was coming down. Think of that like your arms are getting very sore from lifting. And so you stop for a little bit and they're healing, they're gaining strength. So the next time they lift, they can lift very strong again. We can see that the stochastics came down. So this was boring, this was frustrating, but the stochastics came down and did us a favor and said, okay, now I may have some room to really give another shot at lifting. And what do we get? We got a pretty large expansion of bullish momentum here back to the upside. So the question is going to be on this weekly close. We get back over here on this weekly close. We have a very strong bullish green candle. In this case, on my chart, it's white. But what's going to happen on going into this next week? Because we see on the 3-day, this expansion's happened, and we still have a lot of room to run. The momentum has come down a little bit, but we want to see where these things find their lows. So in the case of momentum, we'd like to see this, if this does dip any further, to stay around here. But it's looking like it's trying to round out and potentially make another move. And we can also see the fact that we have positive, like healthy money flow here. This is blue. And look at all the order flow is just buying right now. So we're going to want to watch the moves going into the beginning of this week. That one, we have two different narratives. The weekly suggests that it may start getting a little bit overheated here, and this is starting to round out. But the 3-day suggests that maybe there's one more move in the picture. The 3-day suggests that there may be one more little move in the picture that potentially could be a bull trap. Now, the invalidation for that is if we do break beyond this and push up and over the next 3 days have a candle closure above here and the retrace is a test of this line. That's what we want to see if we want to see the bullish price action continue. But everything that happens right now, whether the price goes up or down, remember, every bit of price movement is an opportunity. And if you have a strategy in place, you can capitalize on that opportunity. So let me kind of come back over here. Yeah, it was just making sure I had the right screen on. So let's get down to the 4 hour, and then we're going to do Algo and AVAX and Ocean. I mean, this came right up to the line. Look at this. We had a little bit of bearish divergence in here. No, we didn't. We had these momentum waves rolled over twice coming into this area. So we're going to want to watch what happens on this. This is the 4 hour. This very well, there's not a clear signal on this on a 4 hour, but we do have a little bit of a double toppy sort of range here. So we want to watch this line right here. If the price action comes down and loses this, I do think we're going to likely come down into the 38,820, which is this previous high range right in here. If we lose that, then this line right here, and this blue line is a pretty important line. This blue line, arbitrary line, right, Kelly? Well, let's go ahead and see how this blue line pans out looking at this on the macro. I mean, this goes all the way back. We've talked about it. This goes all the way back. Let's get a larger time frame. Why is my computer so slow? Okay, there we go. So we got the low here. We got support here, formed the trend line, broadcasted out, and we can see support. This is the point from which we broke down from. And this has been an interesting area that the price has been tangled with. In this case, it was held under it. In this case, it broke above, back down, broke above, back down, broke above, back down, broke above, back down, got rejected. Now we're above. Is this the time on a pullback we find this as support? If this continues coming out like this, then if this kind of plays out on the 8 hour for a couple hours, then this region has confluence with this macro trend line as well as this horizontal level right here. And if we lose that, then of course down there. We got our two levels lined out. That's what we're looking at. The momentum is on the 8 hour looking like it wants to swing up, but the stochastics are already angled over. See this? See how they're angled over? And the RSI is angled over. So with this, what we want to do, we can see the purple line. We want to see the RSI come down, reset here, and angle back up if we're expecting another move. So this suggests that there could be a little bit of weakness, a very small amount, for the RSI to come down and have the RSI test this level. If we lose this level, then I think we test those levels we were just talking about. If we bounce at this level and start to angle back up, that's when we're finding support, and price action likely is going to retest this and break through. And then this is the next level directly above us, which is right here at 40,800. If we take that out, then up here at 42.5. That's what we're seeing. Now let's go ahead and come out of this. Let's look at Cardano. Cardano. It's an ugly chart. Let's go to my other chart. Giving me so much data there. Okay. So look at this sideways range. Looks a lot like what Link did for some time when it was traveling for 580 days or something sideways within this range. Found support here. It's pushing up. I'm watching. Look at these two order block. Lots of selling interest came in these regions, and we can see we're finding a little bit like a ceiling on our, like a little hat here. It's like it's trying to do its best work to break out, but we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Let's see if this is starting to look like it's, come here. This is starting to look a little bit like a rising wedge, which is a little concerning, but it is on a flagpole, so it's kind of like an uncertain bull flag. But yeah, it's not looking incredibly bullish yet, but we are seeing here on the 12 hour that the momentum is trying to say that, okay, the weakness is starting to leave. We may be trying to make a move back up. Stochastics move very strong. See this? So what's it looking like on the 4 hour? 4 hour suggests it's testing this. And man, look at this. Stochastics angle down, RSI angle down, momentum wave is clipped, but it's not rolling over. So this is clipped, and it's meaning it's kind of past its peak area, and it's starting to converge back down. But we are seeing that this tried to do that, and it's not really. We're gonna have to see over the next 2 or 3 hours. We can see on the 2 hour candle. Yeah, this is the 2 hours already reset. If I had to guess with Cardano. This is an ugly line. Let's kind of, there we go. If I had to guess with Cardano, it's going to come down into this region, 38.22, which is not that far. It's a very stone's throw away, as they say. It's a 2% down from there, because we have, look at this. We got rejected. We came down. We're finding a little bit of support on this right now. But if I had to guess, this may come down and test into this 38.2, because we have an order block here and this diagonal level, this rising, ascending level of support down below this. Now, if we just find support here and we push back up into this zone, mind you, we have all this work to do directly above us. So watch for, don't just jump all in with leverage on this, because this very well could start to run and then come right back, and then try to run again and come right back and then after it clears out some of the liquidity, then make its moves up towards this 45 mark and beyond. Now, ALGO. He said he wanted ALGO. ALGO, you go, we go. Kelly dropping that fire. Thank you, Ryan O'Ligny. Shout out. Let's get into, I have to go to the other screen to see y'all's chats. So let's go ahead and look at this. ALGO on the 2 hour. Look at this. This is looking quite bullish because we did break out of this sort of semi-range, consolidation. Could have been just distribution to come down, but it looks more like consolidation, a preparation here. And then as this blast comes up, it's coming down. Look at this, finding support perfectly on this previous high. If we can hold this support and push back up from here, I think we can be in for a pretty strong move for Algorand, which would be something like this, which would take us up here into the 17.40 cent range. But we have a lot of work to do because of all this previous price action. I would move this down a little bit for this here. See that? Order block here. We're fighting this order block here, which makes sense, much like we saw in Bitcoin. Remember when it came up into that region with all that stuff from 2 years ago when everything was breaking down, we had that little consolidation. This is the same thing Algorand's doing right now, trying to clear this zone. If we can clear this zone, I would even take this target out. If we could clear this zone, I'm watching this like a hawk, 16 cents. Why? Because there's a lot of chop in this region. And if we come up here, get rejected, come down, find support, and then move up from there, basically doing something like this, coming up, come down, find support here, come up, find support here, and then kind of release the Kraken. Because we do have a lot of this work to do right here with these two consolidation points before the price fell down. So this is looking very bullish though. This is looking quite bullish. It does show on the 4 hour that it may be cooling off for a little bit longer, but we are seeing a lot of positive money flow here on the BitLab Trend Fuel. So that is a positive thing, but don't just think that means everything is going up and away from here, because a lot of times a lot of the signals can point bullish. It can start to make the move and then flush everybody out, come back down, test this level, which is a much stronger level to come back and test rather than just this high. And if it tests this and bounces up, then that would still be very bullish. That's what I'm seeing on Algorand at the moment. And then somebody want to see AVAX and Ocean. So AVAX, look at that, broke out of this consolidation range, but now we have an M formation. Now we have a new low. This is suggesting to me it's likely coming down into this range, 2132, potentially down to this point of control area. But I think more likely than not, this will come down like this, have a little bit of a retrace, come down, test into this region right here, which is this low 21s, which is still inside this order block that we have directly below us. So this is not a bearish thing. This is the work that the bulls have to do. When you see price action like this, breaking out of a pattern, and it comes up, and now you feel like it's failing because now you have an M formation, a double top on this time frame, and then now you have a little bit of a lower low, suggesting that price may come down. That's not necessarily bearish. This is the work that the bulls have to do to come up, test the resolve of the bulls. Okay, they're going to take some profits. Now they take some profits, and they see where, as they're selling, how much selling pressure comes in from the bears and at what level other bulls come in to defend that area. In this case, we see the price action lost this low, but we still have this major level of support directly below us right here on this diagonal, as well as this region right here that's coming across from these previous highs of this range. So the work the bulls need to do right here, it's not necessarily a bad thing that if this comes down and tests this region, bounces and then comes up. It's clearing the weak hands out that are just trading, trying to front run moves. They're counting on you to be chopped out because you're going to trade emotionally. Don't get chopped out because you're trading emotionally. So what does that mean? Well, we have the double top coming down. We marked out the area. The low 21s is what I'm looking at. If we lose that, then we still have a lot of work down here, all the way into the 20s. So I'm leaning more bullish on this, even with a bit of a pullback that may be in the cards for over the next 6 to 12 hours. Now, if we get a big pump coming into the market, coming at the market, the weekly open, that would be fantastic. But we can't count on that. This structure suggests that it's coming down into this region. So let's plan for that, but then also plan to abandon that if the market does decide to come back up and you take this level out, this previous highs. Because remember, push up, retrace, continuation. That is the name of the game when you're trading in these markets. So let's see how this plays out. Ocean, somebody said they want it. We talked about this in the BitLab private member stream the other day. Let's get out to the weekly double chart. Okay, look at this. Yeah, this is a critical juncture we're at right now. Why? Because we have these previous highs right here. We have a wick up here, but look, wick right in here. We draw this across into the zone. Does it have it? Yeah, so look at this. Price is testing this region. If we can take this region out, this is a little bit of a cup and handle, but it's so ugly because it's so oblong. I'm not counting on this to do this, but this is how you'd measure that from the neckline down to the low of this cup. This is such a big handle. But if this were the case, I mean, this takes us all the way up to previous all-time highs. See that? Now, this is going to take some time. This is a weekly chart. So what are we looking like on the 4 hour? 4 hour, where does the narrative lie? 4 hour, okay, we pushed up, look, tested, come down, test this order block again, come up, push down, where? To the previous highs. So we break down again, a little bit lower. Now, as we pushed up, we're testing this region right here. And look at this, large impulse, and then a little bit of sideways accumulation, getting through the work of all this in the order block. That's right here as well on this 4 hour chart. The momentum, the stochastics came down and kind of reset. The RSI is still high, but it is angled down. I would be watching for, if this does come down, to retest this region right here. Maybe a wick down into this zone if we're very bullish. Test this region. But if this does just hold this region and holds above this previous high, then maybe coming up here, finding some work here, and then a continuation on to the upside for ALGO. What's GRT doing? We haven't looked at GRT in a while. GRT, man, look at that. Stochastics angled fairly sharply down. A lot of bearishness here on the BitLab Trend Fuel, showing the different signals that are within this indicator. It's just giving you one look. Is this in a bearish structure or a bearish setup or a bullish setup? So we're seeing many different signals suggesting some bearishness. So is this suggesting we come down and test this previous high? Or is this suggesting that we come down and test somewhere down in here? In this case, if we come down here, we would need to hold this region. Otherwise, we're likely coming down quite a bit lower. All right, let's do, let me come back over. Let me see the chat. What are you guys doing? IOTA's been running as far. Let's look at IOTA. Yeah. And guys, if you guys have any questions, any questions. And by the way, if you're not getting involved in the Discord, what are you doing? Get over in the Discord. We have so many different things in here shared on a daily basis. I mean, it's incredible. So in this case, so John Dalton, one of our top traders, he's a pro trader on our team here in the BitLab. He shares different trades throughout the days, like all kind of different stuff on a regular basis. You need to get in our Discord. It's part of BitLab Academy. So get involved over at bitlabacademy.com. GRT, no, what were we looking at? IOTA. IOTA. I used to own a lot of IOTA back in 2018. Look at this. This was a big move. I remember this was like, look at that. 67% move. 68% move. Look at this W formation right here. That was a clear move right there. And look, if we take this measurement, look at that. That's why you measure these things. Now, what we want to see on this, so this, look, see, stochastics got high. Is my screen still on? Okay. Stochastics got very high. RSI got very high. Had a little bit of a pullback. And that, this kind of championed that right here. Just it came a little late, but this is why you look at multiple different signals. What is it looking like right here? Look at this. High volume, stopping volume. And we had the stochastics high. Boom. That was, boom, come down. W formation, break of this line, option T, break of this line right there. Or you had two different options here because you have a little bit of a trend line here, which you could have seen if you're on like a 24-minute. See that? 24-minute, you had a trend line right there. So on breakout of this small low retest, we have a couple times here, you could have taken an opportunity, but my call here would have been this neckline right here. A break of this would have been the signal to to go in. And we already had the front running bullish signal right here, followed by 3 bullish divergences, 2 more bullish divergences, 2 more bullish divergences. And these aren't just bullish divergences in RSI. This is Chaikin money flow, on balance volume, RSI, stochastics, demand index. I'm telling you, these indicators are phenomenal for those of you out there using them. So now pushing up, we got the bearish signal there with the stopping volume, but this came down, held in this region. If this can hold this region, if this can take out this trend signal line right here, this 50 moving average right here, if we can take this out and find support on it and move up, we may be moving higher on IOTA, but this is a pretty large move in the course of, 2 or 3 days. I mean, this is 118% move. So it wouldn't surprise me if this were to have to chop around in here a bit. Now, if this does start to move, we have this previous high and this order block right above us at the 38 cent to 39 cent mark. If we take that out, what does it look like? 12-hour candle. I mean, this was so clear. Look at this. Rejection, 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 rejection. Break of it, the retest. And I mean, this was telegraphing this move for some time. Telcoin, I think, also moved quite a while ago. Look at that. Boom. It's a pretty big move, too. 220% move. I believe UBX. I think UBX is, oh, wait. Is it 12-hour? No, it wasn't UBX. It was another. But this was a big move, too. Golly. I don't even know. Somebody was telling me that it wasn't UBX. It was a different one. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. It was in an email. But coming back over to Bitcoin before we wrap all this out. I mean, this is looking incredibly, I mean, it's just sexy charts these days. Pushing up, expansion, 3-day, the stochastics are resetting. This may be doing this may be doing that holiday move where we just shock people and get up into these regions. It's 42, 46, 50K regions. Trade smart. I mean, look at this. Look at this sweeping momentum as it came down. Now it's starting to move up. And we have the money flow is flipped bullish or flipped positive. Positive money flow, negative money flow, positive money flow. So I say, everybody, I say, oh, I gotta stretch my back. Oh, I love each and every one of you. Let me see if I miss anything. Shout out to Alexander G again for dropping that BitLab membership. I appreciate you all. I want to see some emojis in the chat. Did you all find the new emoji, the boom emoji? Yeah, there you go. Crimson Caravan got that. That's a good one. And I hope you're all feeling well. I hope you all go into this weekly close and understand that we're coming into an exuberant part of the market because we're coming into a holiday season. Don't get scared in the chop. Ask yourself why you're doing it and make sure what you're doing doesn't put your why at risk. Big love to each and every one of you. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, be with us here in the BitLab family. Join as a member if you haven't yet, and get involved over at bitlabacademy.com. We'll see you guys in the Discord. Love you all. I appreciate you. I'm going to go watch some football while I'm working on, I have to write a newsletter, and it never stops, baby. But you know what? My why is to bring knowledge about this space to other people so this space can grow and help my family and friends along the way. I love you all. I appreciate you. Hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. That's all I got. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, sucker. Love you guys.